Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to Tactical Rifleman on this glorious Tactical Tuesday right here. As you can see, I am in not my studio. I'm actually out here at Skydive Palatka. You can hear some of the generators in the background. What you can't hear is they're doing. Uh, we've got a chef out here. He's got a big World War II kitchen set up, and he is having a good time, indeed. Cooking up great chow. Tonight was spaghetti, lasagna. He's doing some more cobblers. He's doing, like last night, he did peach and apple cobblers in Dutch ovens. Totally awesome. So, anyways, this is the part where I ask you guys if you can hear me. And you guys will say, yeah, Karl, we hear you fine. Or you'll be like, no, we don't hear you, Karl. We don't hear you. So you guys let me know if you can hear me. And it's just got the waiting screen. Good now. All right. So can you guys hear me? All right. I'm hearing a yes. We hear you. All right. Awesome stuff indeed. That's what I like to hear. Guys, you guys know the deal. Skydive Palatka, our whole reason for coming down. You see, I got my jump master shirt on. Monday was come down to do jump master refresher. But this whole week, we just started the basic airborne course and extended airborne refresher. That's for all those old retirees that haven't jumped in a while. I've got some great retirees here. For example, hey, Mikey, is that your generator?
Yeah.
Can you just turn it off for an hour? Can you do that for me? Appreciate it. Mikey, he's one of my retirees, but I've got Kyle Lamb here. I've got Congressman Alan West is here jumping. We've got all the horse soldier guys here, Mark Newts, all those other guys. And it's really, really cool seeing all these old 5th Special Forces Group officers and sergeant majors and master sergeants and these real famous guys. And then all of a sudden, because you understand, if you were Delta, you went to Halo school. If you were a Green Beret for that long, you probably went to Halo school and jumped square parachutes. These guys are all jumping round parachutes. And the cool part is a lot of them brought their Special Forces hot wives out here with them. And it's kind of cool indeed. And the wives are on the ground watching these guys get onto we got a little caravan airplane here. And nice jumping. Anyways, it's been a good time. We have had fun today. We've got our usual sponsor here again tonight, Venture Surplus. You guys know their motto, Venture Surplus brings the Army surplus store to your door. They got free shipping, returns, all that stuff. You know, we love them supporting us here at Tactical Rifleman. So why don't you guys support them also by going to venturesurplus.com. All right, kind of cool. All right. Yeah, Andre, that light is just killing me right there, dude. It really is. Guys, it takes a lot of work to do this stuff. I've got some of you guys, fellow TR fans come down. And he's like, I don't want to jump. I just want to hang out. He's an Air Force guy wearing a Marine Corps hat, but only the Marines are giving him shit for it. I got Andre here. Andre, another military brother of mine. I'm going to have him here in a few minutes because he'll tell you about, he didn't get his wings when he came down. All right. He got a couple jumps and he ended up getting hurt, but it doesn't matter. A badge on your uniform really doesn't matter. I got, when I retired, I had 23 ribbons. I was authorized to wear 23 of them. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. The top one said continued on back. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you have a CIB or a combat medic badge or all these other, nobody cares. What matters is, did you do a good job? And do your brothers in your left and right, if they were to see you in the airport or when you walk by, are they going to bump their buddy and go, you see that guy? He was a piece of shit who stepped on everybody else's career to advance his career. He'd never stand up for the troops. Or would they bump their buddy and go, you see that guy right there, man? That guy took so many ass chewings for us. He took care of his troops. I would follow that guy through the gates of hell if he asked me to go right now. To me, that's what really matters. Leadership, you've got two things, guys. And it doesn't matter what career path you go down. Number one, priority, accomplish the mission. Number two, care and welfare of the troops. And if you will do those two, now understand, accomplish the mission, priority. But unfortunately, a lot of other people, they forget the care and welfare of the troops, their subordinates. And I don't care if you work corporate America or you're in the Coast Guard. It's all the same. It really is. So, anyways, that's Leadership 101 from Karl Erickson, and that's a reason why I guess I'm not in charge. Here at Round Canopy Parachute Team this week, I am actually the airborne commander. I am the guy in charge. I don't know why I got picked. But I've got, I mentioned Mark Nooch from Horse Soldier Bourbon. He brought down a couple dozen guys. I've got a great cadre of jump masters and advanced free fall guys, and just guys passionate about this. And I've got missions I have to accomplish a mission. But other than that, I have taken all the tasks and I've delegated them out to the best people for the jobs. And it's still my responsibility. If something happens, it's still on my shoulders, but I'm not one of those guys that feels like he has to micromanage. Not at all. And here's the cool part. When you have a good team, you just don't have to do that. You really don't. So, for all of my jump masters and all the other helpers that are out here, like Henre's been busting his ass for a week and a half already, because we're doing this 3 weeks straight. I'm only in charge of week 2. He helped week 1. He helped week 2. He's going to help week 3. My hat's off to all you guys for helping me be a success here. We had a great jump today. One of you guys, one of our asylum, one of my patrons, one of my Medal of Honor patrons, Jordan Carlson or Mrs. Carlson and the kids, if y'all are watching, your husband did great today. He got his first jump on a round parachute and he landed and he was like, this was awesome. This was awesome. And he's excited. I want that to sink in because airborne school is 3 days long. It is 3 weeks long in the U.S. Army. Airborne school, 3 days long. They already got their first jump on the first day. Now, everybody's like, you can't do airborne school in 3 days. I beg to differ. These guys here run a safer program than I had in the military. Leaf LeBlanc just chimed in. Leaf, I wish you were here. I'm sorry you broke your neck, dude, playing hockey. That was God didn't want you to come down here and be giving me shit. So that's why it happened. I'm sorry. Sorry you can't make it, Leaf. All right. I see I have a couple questions come in. Sorry, guys, I'm dehydrated, so I've got to push some Yingling IV to get myself ready for class tomorrow. All right, we're going to run down these real quick. Kill the light. Whole face is white. Henre, can you turn that one that way some?
Yes, sir.
Or just point it down some. That one right there. Just point it down. You guys tell me when it's not. Because I got a big blind spot where this light's been in my eyes. All right. She just hung up on me. All right. First question in from the Peanut Gallery. All right. This one is from Leif LeBlanc, 5 Bones. Wishing I was down there with you all. Blue skies, airborne commander, Rangers lead the way. Guys, you saw how Leif did a super chat. If you have questions, by all means, please send them. I would love to have you do super chat because that helps support my ammo habit. All right. But you don't have to. If you got a legitimate question, just put it in the chat room. I have moderators that will push your stuff in my. We're not doing politics tonight. being airborne and parachuting is not political. It's physical. It's physics. You understand? It's gravity. All right. It doesn't matter your religious preference, sexual orientation, skin color, political party. You're gonna step out of a door, and somebody's gonna hit you in the face with a planet, and either you're gonna land correctly or you're not. And I don't care because the instructors taught you how to do it properly. Easy stuff indeed. All right, guys, I'm going to introduce you to Andre real quick, a good brother of mine. Andre, come snuggle.
Roger that.
All right. Guys, Andre's good people. Can you guys see Andre okay? Oh, man, I got that light blocking you. Can you guys see him all right? I can see you all right. Guys, Andre's good people. He's one of you. Andre saw us coming down. What made you come down here?
Well, you put out the thing that they needed help.
Yeah.
So I came down on the help on your order.
On my order. It wasn't an order. I'm glad you did it. What made you come down and do airborne school last year?
It was fun.
It was fun.
And I heard it from your show.
And decided to come down. Dude, we have a blast. So Andre's not even trying to jump this week, are you?
No.
He's just down here to help out.
And I got hurt because I didn't follow the rules. It was my fault. He comes running up with that big Kool-Aid. Okay, I was looking at a fire truck way across. Then I look down and I see Karl running up, big Kool-Aid smile. Hey! And then you remember Rick Lamb was here?
Yeah.
I look over at him and I'm just like, I'm coming down.
Did you bring me cobbler?
I did.
Oh, snap.
You and Andre.
Thank you, brother.
Right. Thank you, dude.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Our chef just brought me a whole thing of, what kind is it? Tastes like apple.
Apple cobbler.
Apple cobbler.
I'm coming down and
guys, look at that. I mean, he's cooking it in a Dutch oven out here. That's
yeah.
Melted vanilla ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stuff our face on international
TV.
World Wide Web.
Yeah.
It's not TV, dude. We don't care. This shit's real.
Yeah.
That might be better than that French MRE. I'm here to tell you. It really might be. Might be better. I'm not going to eat in front of you guys that much because that would be rude. Maybe I will. That is good, dude. You got to eat it while it's hot. You guys know we got to eat it while it's hot. We got to.
Yeah, it's good.
Here's the deal, guys. They're saying Mike. Can't hear him. You're gonna have to speak up for him. You see that guy back there in the back, Jerry J?
Yeah.
You see Jerry J in the back? Jerry J's deaf as a stump. So you gotta yell behind me. You gotta yell way behind me. You gotta yell at Jerry J. Same thing with Moody too. Moody too. He's back behind the camper. You gotta yell at him.
Okay. Right? Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all.
How about now? Can y'all hear him now? We're gonna lean forward a little bit. We can do that. I'll get Andre. I know, guys. I know. I want you to be able to hear Andre. I know it. I know it. You guys can hear me okay. Why? Because I'm loud. Why am I loud? One, I'm deaf. But two, I have to be able to speak over all of the voices in my head. Oh, that is so good, dude.
Yeah.
That is so good. All right, so day one today. We started off parachute landing falls. We actually didn't start with that. We started with all the different parts of the parachute, got into donning the parachutes. They spent time in the harness, hanging from the harness. You had to obviously go over all the emergency procedures, what to do if there's a tree landing, what to do if you have line twists, what to do if you have a May West, partial malfunctions, total malfunctions, all this, that, and the other, wire landings, water landings, all that stuff. It's a lot to squeeze in. We have them divided into 3 squads. First squad is the basic course. Those are people that have never jumped before. That's the squad that Jordan Carlson's in. Jordan I'm very proud of you. We have a few other people, a lot of dependents. What I mean by that are sons or family members of people that are here. We've got a few females in the group, 3 actually in this class. 2 of them were actually brought in by the horse soldiers group. One of them's a jump master. She's awesome. She did jump master refresher on Monday, but I believe both of them were attached to JSOC. They're in the military. I think one of them's actually still active duty, or her husband's still active duty. And then the other female in the class is our senior jump master's wife. And Mrs. Hurst, she is awesome. She's having she had a great landing today. Wasn't the most textbook parachute landing fall.
It was better than mine.
But it was better than his.
Yeah.
That's not saying much right there.
Yeah,
We can hear you ignore the chia peanut. Okay. All right. It is what it is. All right. So here's the deal. I mentioned that I have Kyle Lamb here. You guys know him from Viking Tactical. We've had him. You probably know him from the movie Black Hawk Down. And obviously he wasn't in the movie, but his character was in there. And we have a couple of other people here parachuting that were also in Black Hawk Down in Somalia. That was 93?
Yes.
October
3rd.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, 92, 93. I want to say it was 93. Maybe it was 92.
That was 93.
Anyways, doesn't matter. What matters is we've got a bunch of those guys here. They've actually agreed to give a briefing on it tonight. So they're finishing dinner. They've got a movie that they put the big screen up on the wall and here at Skydive Palatka, and they are going to play a movie later. But before that, can you imagine getting the briefing on what really happened at Black Hawk Down by a couple of the operators that were actually there? I think that's going to be very, very cool. I'm missing it for you guys. So if you guys don't keep me long, perhaps I can make it to the briefing, but I don't see that happening. For those of you that got smell-o-vision, if you turn that stuff on, I want you to smell that. Can you smell that? Melted vanilla ice cream. Just enough cinnamon on that. Good googly moogly. Make you want to slap your mama right there. Oh, that stuff's good. All right. You guys did not pay all that money for tickets to watch this live stream just to watch me eat. So I'm gonna try to turn a blind eye to it and try not to do it. Nah, I gotta eat that. That's good stuff right there. That is good stuff. All right, so Henri, what's new with you? What have you been up to? What are you doing in this glorious world of ours?
Just trying to be a better person.
I'm here to tell you, I think you're doing a good job of it. So I show up first night. Me and Emery show up. You see my camper behind me. This is my little off-road camper. And Emery, I rode with Emery. We rode Emery's truck. Emery drove. He towed my camper down here for me. I brought my wife's electric bicycle so I can drive around the airfield. But I'm staying in a camper. I brought a tent for Emery to sleep in. I'm not letting Emery in my camper. That's nasty, right? That's gross. My wife's allowed in there, not Emery. All right. But anyways, we come down here and Henri was right here already, ready to meet us and greet us. And he's like, I got something for you. All right. You want to tell him what it is, what you got me? I'll tell you, I'm going to go get it. Henri's going to tell you. Henri's going to tell you what he got.
Yeah, Karl does a lot of the Mac V SOG stories with John Striker Myers. And I knew he was passionate about that, so I had a uniform made up for him with his awards and the Mac V Sog patch.
You guys aren't gonna believe this. Now, I didn't even know Andre was coming, guys. Andre didn't tell me. He wanted to surprise me, little prick. So anyway, he shows up because if I had known Andre was gonna bring me something, I would have brought Andre something. I got pulled. This is the no shit OG 107 uniform. Right, you guys have seen the OG 107 uniforms before, but he puts the Mac V Sog patch on the shoulder, right? But then he also put SF patch, Sergeant Major rank, got my name tag on there. And then on the other shoulder, he's got Special Forces, Ranger, again, more rank. But then he's got my my CIB I got in Desert Storm, my combat medic badge I got in Afghanistan, master parachutist wings, but he's also got my Halo jump master wings and my air assault wings, and they didn't have that shit back in Vietnam. But who sewed this?
My sister.
Your sister sewed this. Well, dude, you give her a hug for me.
Roger
You don't got to grab her butt. I'll save that, man, because that's sister and all. That'd be wrong.
Yeah.
But you give her a good hug for me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I appreciate it. Guys, this is and I can't wear this. No, but you guys know we're going to Normandy. That is for the 80th anniversary of D-Day. All right, but I'm going to put this up. I'm going to hold on to this because someday when we jump into Normandy this summer, we're going to be jumping in World War II uniforms, World War II steel pot helmets, brown leather Cochrane jump boots, with the 17 nails on the bottom of them, and try to be authentic as possible. And but in the October is when they do the Vietnam era jumps, and that's when everybody will be wearing the Vietnam era uniforms. You'll see my son Nicholas wearing the old Vietnam tiger stripe and stuff. So that the cops coming for you?
No, it's fire trucks.
Fire trucks? They're
Yeah,
coming for me.
You're the one that I seen that day.
Yeah,
Hurt my knee.
So, anyways, I will find an occasion. This is awesome, and up in my attic, I got a clothing rod up in the attic, and it's got like my old Class A uniform and my dress blues.
Yeah.
But I've also got one of my old Woodland, the Woodland BDUs.
Yeah.
And some DCUs, the chocolate chips from Desert Storm. You save all these different uniforms, and it's kind of neat to go back up through the attic and people, especially with like someone new to the family, like my nephew, and I can just imagine bringing my niece up there in the attic and having her look at a lot of this stuff. So, anyways, brother, again, thank you so much. That is sincerely, I'm overwhelmed. Dude, it blew me away. It blew me away. Dude, I don't have anything to give you. I'd give you my firstborn or something. I don't know. Yeah. No, maybe. No, good stuff. Anyways, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Andre, you are awesome, and thank you for helping me this week. And I got to put it back in plastic bag because I don't want this getting tore up. I'm holding on to this puppy. All right, Susan, if there's any questions from the peanut gallery, you can send them to me. Or you guys can just keep hanging out with me and Andre. What else you want to talk about? Anything?
Just living a good life.
Living a good life.
Best you can.
What do you want to tell your family at home, though? Anything?
I love them.
That's fair. That's fair. For my wife and my daughter that are down at Universal Studios right now, one, honey, I hope you're no longer motion sickness after riding Harry Potter. That's your own fault. And two, I love everybody that's out there. Funny stuff indeed. Does Karl have AC in his attic? No. It depends. Depends what part of the attic you go to. But basically, no. My attic gets way too hot, and it'll be all right. If you got AC in your attic, it's not an attic. It's another room. That shit's good right there, brother.
Oh yeah.
That stuff is good. You killed it off.
Yeah, I had to.
You let me run my mouth the whole time while you're eating. That's fair. All right. You guys want to hear some funny shit? All right. So we did day 1 today. I got day 2, day 3. And that will be Thursday night. We're doing graduation. We're going to pin airborne wings on these guys. The new jump masters will get jump master wings. Friday starts Operation Sand Snake. My son and my wife are my wife and daughter are going to fly home from Orlando. My wife, a couple hours later, is going to get in the car with my son and then drive with my son all the way down here so he can parachute Friday and Saturday. All right, but Friday and Saturday, Operation Sand Snake 8. I think it's Sand Snake 8. I'm expected to have all of these jumpers that are here right now, plus 90 strap hangers. I've got 2 World War II era correct C-47 airplanes. The Tycho Bell is already packed over there. And then the other one is, what's the name of the other one? Lassie?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Anyways, I've got 2, which means I'm going to be doing 2 airplanes at the same time. Everybody thinks the second one should be higher. That's not what they do. The second one's actually lower so that the pilots and jump masters can see the ground that's coming up. Now, that doesn't make any sense, right? Because you jump out of this one, you get hit by the second one, but they're far enough apart this way. Supposedly, we'll see. I guess that's up to the airborne commander. I hope we got a good one.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know. Anyways, I told Jordan Carlson to make sure he's on the second bird.
Yeah, my Uncle Charlie fought in World War II, Korea, and
Really?
Vietnam. Yeah.
Nice. Good
So-
stuff.
So it's
Mikey, you coming on the live stream?
You want me to come on the live stream, man?
You want to?
Oh, probably.
Pull up a pew. You can come on when Andre's done.
Fuck yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up here. Saturday night, we're gonna do the banquet for week 2. And hopefully I have some of the Horse Soldier bourbon guys here, like Mark Nooch. You guys, if you've seen the movie 12 Strong, the guy that played by Thor, the team leader, that's Mark Nooch. Mark Nooch don't look like Thor, but Mark Nooch is so much more awesome than Thor is. He really is. Thor is, Mark Nooch is such a great American. He actually broke his ankle. He's got 7 screws in it, and he's still out here with me doing jump master duty. So they're going to be the guest speakers Saturday night. Week 1, I came a few days early to help out, kind of like Andre's doing. But we had Black Rifle Coffee guys here, Matt Best, all those guys were here last week. They were supposed to be the guest speaker Saturday night, and then they all left. None of them stayed. So the airborne commander last week was like, hey, Karl, I'm going to get a couple of the instructors. We don't have a guest speaker. Going to get a couple of the instructors to get up there and say a few words. And I want you to go last. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyways, for my patrons, I wound up being the guest speaker. If I had known that, I would not have showed up on Thursday. You understand? My ass would not have showed up till Sunday morning. I'm here to help out, right? And if somebody asked you to be the guest speaker, you would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have. So anyways, they kind of put me on the spot. But for my patrons out there, Emery videotaped the whole thing. It's only 17 minutes long. I was supposed to talk for 8. I'm long-winded. You guys know that. But for my patrons, if you're going to tell a story, I can't do a story in under 30 minutes anyways. Some of them are 2 hours long. So anyways, I was guest speaker. I'm not doing that this year. I mean, this week, not at all. Airborne commander. I'll have black rifle. I'll have horse soldiers do it, or maybe Mikey. I've got some awesome people here. Like it's Kyle Lamb has to leave early. He's leaving, right? He would have been a good one. Yeah. But we got so many great VIPs here. We really do. It gets better. Uh-oh. I think did I lose everybody? She's reminding me to read. All right. Where's Emery? Super low numbers tonight. I will cut it early. All right. That's okay, guys. We will cut it early tonight. All right. Without further ado, question: how hard is the landing under a round canopy versus a modern parachute? It depends. Here's the deal. These round parachutes we're jumping and call the SF-10. It is actually a steerable parachute, and it is rated to take 400 pounds. So basically, you've got a 250-pound barrel-chested freedom fighter, and he can carry 150 pounds of gear. And that's the mortar, base plate, bunch of mortar shells, full rucksack, all that stuff, battle rifle. It'll safely get a guy with 400 pounds to the ground. No, we don't jump combat equipment here. So all these guys are jumping way, way, way under the max weight limit for these parachutes. So it's very, very easy. They're soft landing so long as you land facing into the wind. I mentioned it's a steerable parachute, okay? It does 10 miles an hour. There's no brakes, okay? They're toggles for turning, but you can't stall the parachute and bring it in and stall it and you can't do a stand-up landing like that. But because it has 10 mile an hour forward movement, let's say you've got a 8 mile an hour wind on the ground blowing like this. Well, if you turn your parachute into the wind, your parachute's doing 10 miles an hour. You now land at 2 miles an hour. All that extra air is making you come down slower. You hit the grass at 2 miles an hour. Most of you can walk that fast, right? Run that fast. The problem, though, is you got the 8 mile an hour wind, and some of these monkeys are running with the wind. Now, remember, 8 mile an hour wind, your parachute's doing 10 miles an hour. Now you're landing at 18 miles an hour. I don't care what track and field team you're on or what high school you do sprints for. Your ass is not running 18 miles an hour. And you end up hitting the ground like a train wreck. So these chutes can be very, very forgiving. The big Army does not jump steerable parachutes. And the reason why they don't do that is if you put 3,000 parachutes all in the air at the same time, if they're all steerable, you get a mess. But if they're all the same, they all come down together, right? Doesn't matter if you're 10 feet apart. You're going to stay 10 feet apart the whole time, all the way to the ground. Special forces and other units run steerable parachutes so they can go into smaller drop zones, and it allows you to avoid hay bales and vehicles and ditches and trees and stuff like that. So, but with that ability to maneuver a little bit comes the added responsibility that, hey, even in the dark, you've got to calculate winds. You've got to know what you're doing. And but as far as comparing it to a modern Ram Air parachute, there's no comparison. Your Ram Air parachute's doing anything from 18 miles an hour to even faster than that. You know, you get heavier guys with smaller parachutes because they like swooping. You know, their chutes are hauling ass. But understand, they don't jump them in the dark because they have to know exactly how high their feet are off the ground so that they can come in and do their stalls and their brakes. You can't do that with a Halo parachute. you come in at half brakes, you hope you're facing in the right direction, and you hit the ground like a train wreck. So to say square parachutes are better than static line or a round parachute, yeah, I'd still rather jump Halo. I would, but I can't do that. They didn't do it back in Normandy, and that's what I'm doing this for. Excellent question. All right, next one is from Karen, my buddy on my tactical rifleman overland team. We've got 4 Jeeps on it. We need more pics and video, Karl. I actually took pictures today, Karen. I apologize, guys. I haven't been posting very much. I got pictures of them doing training and loading up on the airplane and jumping out of the airplane and the chutes coming down. I got done training and I got done putting a couple mouthfuls of spaghetti in my mouth. And I set that light up and I put that light onto Emery's truck. I cracked open a beer. I put my phone on hotspot and I turned my laptop on with about what I have about 9 seconds to spare.
Yeah.
9 seconds.
Yeah.
So I will upload to the grammage. I will post pictures for you guys. I promise. I will do them tonight after the live stream. All right. I think that was my last question. Karen, you're awesome. Please say hi to Toby for me. Your better half. You're Toby's better half, of course. Go back further. Someone asked how your knee is doing. Okay. And David Bobine, Karl, how is the knee doing? All my best. David, my knee is doing incredibly meh. Yeah. That's probably the best way to put it. It's stable. I still have to take anti-inflammatories for it all day long. Riding in the truck for 12 hours coming down here, it got stiff. If I'm walking around, if I'm riding the bike, it's good to go. The problem I have is I can't sit on my ass out here during the day when I've got all these jump masters out here and squad leaders. Mikey's one of my squad leaders, and all the students doing everything. And I've got all these helpers like Andre that are doing, I can't sit on my ass and rest my leg like I need to. So I'm standing up. I'm not putting too many steps on it, but just being vertical. Yeah, you understand, the law of fluids. There's a reason why the veins and arteries in your feet are thicker than the veins and arteries in your hands and your neck and head. It's because the weight of that extra fluid. Well, same thing. My knee being lower because I've been standing all day long. My knee is swollen up so bad to where I have to stretch it out just to bend it enough to pedal to come back from the hangar to the camper here. And so yeah, it's the cool part was Sunday. We took a day off on Sunday. I went and hung out with Chris Weatherman and Mel Weatherman. You guys know Angry American, the author. Me and Emery drove up there. We hung out for a while, and just staying off my feet all day Sunday was a total blessing. So if I could take Wednesday off or Thursday off, that would be awesome. And I'm gonna be off of it while I drive home on Sunday, probably. Speaking of driving home on Sunday, for those of you that are taking classes in Texas here in March, that's just right around the corner. And I mean, literally right around the corner. Me and Emery drive home Sunday. I get home Sunday night, and then my Suburban is already loaded down with all the barricades, targets, steel plates, ammo, range boxes, medical gear, blasters, suitcase with clean laundry. I'm going to get home, unhook the camper, give my wife the dirty laundry, go to sleep, get up the next morning, get into the Suburban and drive straight to Florida. We got a couple slots left. If you guys are interested, I think there's 2 slots left for combat pistol. I want to say 1 slot left for pistol carbine zero mastery, which is a 1-day class. I want to say I got 2. I want it's 1 or 2 slots for that, and then battle rifle 1. is that one might be full, or I might have another slot for that, but not a lot. The only reason why I'm saying that is we put them on sale, and it was cool because they filled up. But the cool part is we're staying at Beaumont Ranch in the bunkhouse. So instead of you paying $190 a night at the local Best Western, and then taxes on top of that, Beaumont Ranch, their bunkhouse, the weekday rates are like $65 a night, and it's a great time because you're staying with the tactical rifleman instructors, you're staying with the other students, and anyways, I get done that on want to say like the 26th, 25th, 26th, and then I'm heading to Demolition Ranch. I don't even know, was that outside of San Antonio? I got to burn a couple days, the 25th, 26th, half day 27th. I might go visit Mikey. I'll find there's plenty to do in Texas. But night of the 27th, I got to be at Demolition Ranch to film with Leviathan, getting a bunch of these social media guys together. And I've been invited. I don't know, I get along with these guys, but I'm the old crusty guy. And, it is what it is. What's up, man? You got a question?
Yeah, the guy asking what's my lodge.
What's your what?
Oh, my lodge.
What's your lodge? What is your lodge?
Job Lodge 102, Durham, North Carolina.
102. I got to get me some Mason action going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, if you guys are interested, I'll be down there in Texas. I will not be getting home until Easter morning. And then I turn right back around. We're going to be doing classes in second week of April at Montgomery County Shooting Complex. Again, I got 10 days of classes. They're going to have Emory with me. Gun runner pistol, 2-day class. Emory's running that one. Combat pistol carbine. Remember, that's got a night shoot the first night. Carbine Zero Mastery, then Battle Rifle 1 again, and then High Risk Concealed Carry, which is 2 days, all EDC pistol stuff. Again, guys, you can sign up for those classes at tacticalrifleman.com. The cool part is my wife has actually signed up for some classes. In May, I've been invited to go to Mountain Readiness Expo, which is like a big homesteading, prepper, survival expo up in the mountains of North Carolina. And you can go to mountainreadiness.com. But if you go there, you pay one fee, and it's basically 3 days, but they've got 20 different instructors there that are all doing like little seminars. And, like Emory's doing one on knife fighting, and there's one on water bath canning. There's another one on slaughtering chickens and slaughtering and preparing pigs. And there's just so many great classes. Well, I'm bringing my wife to that. Toby and Karen Harrison are coming, which is awesome. So anyways, if you guys are interested in going at night, we're all camping in the same campsite there. Again, me and my wife will be in my little camper here. I think Emory's going to share a big camper with somebody. But Angry American, Alan Kay from the first season of the reality TV show Alone, he's going to be there along with a bunch of other famous social media influencers in the homesteading and survival world. A bunch of great stuff going on. So you guys can sign up for that at mountainreadiness.com. But then there's a range, outdoor shooting range that's 40 miles away. And me and Emory, we're going to stay 5 more days. And same thing, pistol carbine, high risk concealed carry. And got a bunch of people signing up for that. If you're one of Angry American's patrons or some of these other people, those people have already got slots so that they are doing giveaways with their groups. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to get you out of here. All right. Anything else for the peanut gallery? Anything you want to share with them?
Hey, just live good.
Don't tell me, man. Tell them.
Oh, sorry. Just live good, do the best you can, and keep
You
doing
didn't
it.
want me to put you on the spot.
Oh, no. That's okay.
Parting
That's okay.
words of wisdom from Henri.
Live good, do right. Enjoy life because you only have one.
October, when we come back, I'm gonna do this to you again, and you're gonna have some
Yeah.
just phenomenal things to close out, man. Like words for people be like, damn,
Yeah.
man, Henri, dude, he changed my life. Right, dude. Hey, no, dude, thanks for everything, brother. Thanks
Yeah,
for
brother.
everything. Thank you so much. All right,
Thanks, chat.
man. All right, guys, I'm gonna bring Mikey on. He's
Mike
one of
the
my
Marine.
squad leaders. I got you want a beer? Mikey's got a beer.
Yeah,
Okay.
beer.
Super fire, Marine.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Guys, it's gotten dark out. Cool part about Florida is, dude, I wish y'all could see that sky up there. You can't see it, but
That moon, dude.
I know it's good.
Isn't that wild?
I'd share it with you guys, but I don't want to.
Yeah. This is
All right,
our,
so how
this
you
is our
doing, man?
moon.
Doing good?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good.
You got to yell for, see the guy, Jerry, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Jerry. The guy in the back, Moody's a little deaf, so you know the
Gotcha.
deal. You
Gotcha.
gotta talk so monkeys in the back can hear.
Yeah.
Guys, Mikey, former Marine, right?
Happily retired. Yeah.
Happily retired. What are you doing now?
I'm a stand-up comedian.
Yes,
And
that is
podcast
so
host.
cool. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's that's like the coolest job. You go around high schools now, and everybody's like, "Hey, well, what career path are you going down?" Well, I'm going to be a social media influencer. It's like,
Ugh.
really? But he's living the dream. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
man.
it's. I didn't think it was gonna actually work out, and I'm doing it, man. I don't know. Like, thankfully, I got mama at home, and mama makes good money. So
Oh,
you know,
that's fair.
I got
fair.
sugar mama at home
All right.
supporting my weird hobby.
How
career.
did you think training went today?
I think it went really smooth.
Not bad for first day, right?
Not bad. Yeah. Had some great jumpers. You mentioned it a minute ago, dude. The talent pool in this class is
crazy.
I mean, we walk amongst giants.
We really do.
We do, dude.
Yeah.
Every time I come out here, I'm blown away. You got Kyle Lamb. You got Alan West.
Yeah,
here.
Alan West. You guys.
Yeah, Congressman
he
Alan
was a
West.
congressman.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention like
he's
you know
good people. Yeah,
all the Delta guys that are here
yeah,
and stuff, and like
stack of
all
them.
the horse soldiers. I mean, Alex Hernandez, who is a legend.
Yeah.
You know, probably killed more people than cancer.
Yeah,
Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
He'll never tell you, and you'd never
Yeah.
know it.
you can't
I
ask
mean-
cancer because cancer died when it grabbed
Yeah.
him.
Just an amazing group of individuals out here. It's so hard to put it into words sometimes, man. Just we walk amongst giants. That's what it is.
All right, so if you guys got questions for Mikey, like I said, Mikey is former Marine, and he's a big skydiver down there in Texas. And yeah, I'm blessed to have him as one of my squad leaders. When I saw Mikey on the list, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna. The Round Canopy Parachute Team set me up for success. They gave me 3 great squad leaders, great jump master pool. We're having a great time. So if you guys got questions,
I hope they
for
do
Mike,
that for me in October.
oh shit, no,
Because I may be seeing October, man. I'm Airborne
Are you
Commander.
really?
Yeah.
All right, dude.
So-
They suckered you into it too, huh?
They did, yeah.
All right, so if you guys got questions for Mikey, you know the deal. Put them in the peanut gallery. I got a question here from Rob. Susan, when is Karl going to finish his book? Here's the deal, guys. You know, and everybody jokes about it. Yeah. When I write a book, it's gonna be called War Stories, a Comedy. Sincerely, that's the name of my book, and I joke about it. It's never gonna get written. It never will. Hear me out. All right, so. But I've been saying that for basically 30 years. Well, the film crew, you know, that started Tactical Riflemen, we're sitting down. We've been filming all day. We're sitting down in the man room. We got the pool table there. We got I think we drank half a bottle of Crown Royal. But they're like, hey, Karl, tell us the story about Baboon Alley. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, I tried to tell the story to some of my buddies. I can't tell it as well as you do. Tell us the story about Baboon Alley. And we got assaulted. I mean, we barely fended him off in Djibouti.
Dude, People
Djibouti,
sleep on Djibouti.
Yeah.
It is the shittiest place on the planet.
the national
Oh
flower
my god,
is a plastic bag hung up on a bush.
that's
That's
for real.
not lying.
That's
I'm
for
not,
real.
right?
That's
It
for
is,
real.
dude.
I
It
was
really
there. I
is.
was there for 2 weeks once, and by the end of it, it had been so gross I could stand my uniform up
Yeah.
from all the just gross salt in my pants. It was fucking heinous, dude.
So,
So bad.
so anyways, I started telling the story, Baboon Alley. Well, he brought his phone up and sat it down next to me. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to record it. And he's like, so I can, I'm like, fine, whatever. And he knew I wasn't lying because it was like the third time I told the story, right? Nobody gets their lies. And the cool part is it's not that I do stupid shit, but I'm around people that do great stuff. And I tell stories of what other people do. Sularoo, for example. So anyways, I told the story, and about a week later, they sent me this Word document. It's Baboon Alley by Karl Erickson, and it's all typed out. It's a Word document. It's like it's like 30,000 words, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And they're like,
transcribed it.
we had our secretary Heather. She's the one that edits our videos, right? She's a total plant eater, herbivore. They call her R2D2. She's awesome. I love Heather. Heather is one of the greatest, yet gentle, but she's still a great human being. But she's gentle. And they say, yeah, we had her type it all out and wearing headphones, and she's basically traumatized. Yeah, she's having nightmares now. So that's how one of the chapters started. And then Patreon. I have a Patreon channel, patreon.com/tactical rifleman. I started doing story time with Karl once a month for, I think it's Bronze Star patrons or whatever. I do story time with Karl. Maybe it's Army Combination Medal patrons. Different tiers, you get different things. And I do story time with Karl once a month. Well, we've been doing that for years now. Well, my son takes a lot of those, and me and the wife sat down, and my wife's like, Karl, I know all your stories. So we made a list and of my stories. We put them into basically chronological order, starting with like me as Private Erickson sneaking into North Korea on the DMZ just because I wanted a picture of me at the sign. South Korea, the military demarcation line between North and South Korea, there's if you go up the DMZ, you can see the signs. It's a yellow metal sign on a 6-inch by 6-inch concrete post, and they're every 100 meters. The South Korean side of the sign is Korean on top, and then English at the bottom, military demarcation line. So to prove you on the DMZ, everybody gets their picture with that sign in the background. I wanted a picture of me in North Korea. So I have a picture of me with the sign behind me, but it's Korean on top, Chinese on the bottom. To get that picture, you've got to be standing in North Korea. Well, the problem was I had, the old 35 millimeter film camera.
Yeah.
But I only brought one lens.
With the little black tube of
yeah.
filming, yeah.
But it was a 210 zoom.
Oh, okay.
Right? Big long lens. The problem with that is we get up there to the sign and there's triangle minefield signs everywhere. Like current minefield signs, like not old signs, like modern day minefield signs. So I kind of sneak like 3 feet into North Korea. My two buddies are standing next to the sign, and I bring my camera up, and all I can see is one eye because the lens won't zoom out. So I'm looking behind me, and Bouncing Betty, the 3 prongs.
Yep.
It's all pine needles on the ground. So basically, everywhere you look looks like 3-prong Bouncing Betties laying everywhere.
That's terrifying.
I'm a stupid Private Erickson, so I tiptoe backwards into the minefield to get a picture of my two buddies next to the sign, and then they're like, all right, let's get out of here. I'm like, oh, hell no, motherfunchkin. I'm getting my picture. And they're like, we're not going out. I'm like, oh, yeah, you are. So anyways, they tiptoe in my footprints, and I end up getting a picture. A lot of my patrons have seen the picture. When I publish that chapter, that's the picture that goes with that chapter, chapter 1, Private Erickson sneaking into North Korea. So I've got, I want to say 34 chapters. These are stories that my wife has heard me tell too many times. And
You know what you should do?
so
You should instead of using like chapter names,
Yeah.
just put your rank as the chapter.
oh, but the problem is that I don't have 34 ranks. Right? There's 34 chapters.
Well, you know, you could be
Now,
like,
I
year
understand
two.
for you Marines, you guys go E2, E3, E4, E1, E2, E3.
That's Chesty Puller
Yeah,
said it,
yeah.
man. Chesty Puller is a famous quote of saying, he said, "Take me to the brig. I want to meet the real Marines."
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And I knew a E7 in the Army that had made E6 like 4 times. He was an old Vietnam vet. And you could do that shit back then. You can't do that in the Army now.
Yeah.
So anyways, all of my stories have been recorded voice. And so from my patrons, y'all don't need to buy the book. Y'all can just, you've already heard them. For those of you that want to hear the stories, patreon.com/tactical rifleman, you can scroll back through all the story times. My son has transcribed probably 2/3 of them. The problem though is when my son types it out, SOF, SOF, Special Operation Forces, I say, yeah, these 3 soft guys, right? My son writes that out as SOFT, soft. These 3 soft guys.
Those guys probably aren't soft.
Yeah. But I also that like the dates are wrong. So the name of the town, how many of you guys know how to spell Fallujah? By the way, it starts with an A and an L. Al Fallujah.
Yep.
Najaf is An Najaf, A-N space N-A J-A-F. I'm using that as an example. So I have to go back and edit all these Word documents, and my son has done 2/3 of them. If I go to a campsite with no cell phone coverage, with just my dogs running around, and don't bring the wife, I can usually knock out 2 chapters in a day, typing. But the reality is I don't get enough days alone to do anything. So short answer, when is my book coming out? Meh. Long answer, that's what I just gave you, by the way. And I'd say 6 months. And 6 months from now, when you ask me again, I'll probably say 5 months. All right, guys, give me a question from Mikey. All right.
They keep asking about crayons and stuff. So let me explain the crayon thing to you guys real quick, all right?
One, the red ones really do taste good.
The snozberries taste like snozberries. No. It's been done. Come up with something original. Like so I had my buddy Jazz, who is an army psyop guy formerly, right? Brilliant dude. He's one of the co-hosts on my podcast, Freedom Friends podcast is my show.
What is it again?
The Freedom Friends podcast.
Freedom Friends, is that like freedomfriends.com? Is it YouTube? Where do they find it?
Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're on Spotify, YouTube. We're all over TikTok, Instagram, and all those as well.
Clickety-clack and all that stuff.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. We get about 160,000 downloads a month. We're doing pretty good.
Damn.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Oh,
We've been
that's
around
good,
for about
man.
5 years. So yeah. It's
Okay.
veterans smoking cigars, drinking whiskey. That's what we do. But my buddy Jazz, one of my co-hosts on there, he came up with the best Marine joke that I think I've heard is, do you know why Marine MOSs don't have letters in them?
What?
Because the alphabet's hard. That's a good joke. Like, that's a good joke, right? Like that's a good one. That's way better than what color crayon you gonna get, bro. Ugh, come on, man. This crayon eater has 2 master's degrees. How many do you have?
Yeah.
Comments?
Yeah. Guys, you guys know the deal. My wife will tell you the truth that when we're in the airport, whatever, in the bar in the airport, I bought this Lance Corporal a beer in the airport, and we're walking to our gate, and she's like, "What was that?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "You don't buy Green Berets beers. You definitely don't buy SEALs beer. You don't buy the Air Force beer, but you say you don't feel safe unless you got an AC-130 over your head, but you're always buying Marines beer." And the reality is Battle of Najaf. I had Marines around me.
Yep.
I had Army around me, but the days that I had the Marines around me, the fighting went better. The Second Battle of Fallujah, I had Marines all around me. And you guys, if you know some of my stories, I had that, it's a Navy corpsman, but he's basically a medic for the Marine
Yep.
Corps. You know, the rocket hit the wall next to me, and the colonel, he lost his arm at Karma, Iraq, up the road.
Karma was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same base. 10-foot long Katusha rocket comes in, kills the Navy CB attached to the Marines that had just fixed my Wi-Fi internet so my guys could surf porn. And he died in my arms with the shrapnel had knocked his sternum out and his heart was outside of his chest. All right.
Yeah.
But getting in gunfights with Marines was always a positive outcome because Marines want to fight. They don't get hung up on, do you have your PT belt on? They don't get hung up on, hey, Sergeant, you can't wear a Punisher baseball cap here. Why are you wearing Desert Tiger Stripe? That's not an authorized uniform. Why are your boots on blouse? They don't care about that. You're here to be a force multiplier for my Marines. Jump in the fight with us. And I never, not one time, not once, never had to write a single Purple Heart for any of my guys when I had Marines around me. And
You got them all.
They got them all. But
I got 3.
yeah. See? People ask me, and I'm like, they go by this
Yeah.
way, they go right under the
I'm
arm.
telling you.
They just glide right by you, Karl.
Safest place in the battlefield is next to me, man. I'm the one that's gonna get hit every time. Like, this is the thing.
Guys, right?
Like-
Would you not want him next to you? I'd want 50 Mikeys wrapped around me with a couple lavs with a 25 millimeter chain guns on them, and maybe some toe throwers.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have us a good time. All right, guys. Questions for Mikey? I'm still looking. All right. Howdy. In service, did y'all ever take fire while landing? In service, yes, ever. This guy, he must have wrote it Marine. You
Oh,
wanna read that?
no. He's asking like if we ever took fire while landing a shoot. I have no combat jumps.
Me neither.
I
I've
didn't-
never
I didn't-
parachuted into combat.
Yeah, no.
You understand? It's not like the movies where
It's
you
not a
land
normal
like
thing.
right on the target.
Yeah.
Very seldom do you even land helicopters on the target.
There was only one
yeah.
combat jump in Iraq in all of Iraq, right? Like 173rd did that one in North, and there was nothing there. They seized an airfield that we already took control of.
Yeah.
But it's a combat jump because it's in a combat zone type of thing.
Yeah.
But there's not really, there's not really much of one.
The Gustache 2531. You realize how many kids your mama must have that she has to give them 4-digit designators.
Like,
wow, dude,
Well,
your
how many-
mama's box
how
like
many
must have like
dudes-
wind blowing through.
How many dudes are called the Gustache on the internet?
Serious, right,
wow.
sir? I cited in my AR red dot. If my 3x magnifier is not centered, will my shots be off? Question mark, or just be a odd cheek weld? All right, one, it depends on if they market red dots as being parallax free. The reality is they are not parallax free. What I mean by that is a lot of your rifle scopes, your deer hunting scopes, everybody thinks that if you put those crosshairs on the center of that deer, you pull the trigger, it's going to be dead on. But then when they go out actually deer hunting and they're not on the bench anymore and they're doing all this shit, the reason why your zero is off is because if that eye, your pupil, is not centered behind that reticle, it's the same as iron sights on a rifle. You have to have front sight, back sight, and then the eye centered behind it. Now, to make them center, as you put them further apart, all right, if I raise that up a little bit and I start moving my eye, you see how I throw that gun off, right? Even though I'm keeping that in the same spot with my head, you guys can see how much that's moving. That's
Side
called
alignment, side
parallax.
picture.
Red dots were sold to the military that you just bring it up and that so long as you can see the red dot, it is there. That is not true. It is close, but there's still parallax. And red dots are worse than holographic weapon sight. The biggest selling point of a holographic weapon sight like a EOTech, two things. One, much wider field of view, and because it's so short, your eye can be off more and see the reticle. But the biggest selling point, especially what they're finding in Ukraine right now, where everybody has nods, is if you've ever looked at a red dot from the front, you can see an aim point from the front. You can see a holosun from the front. You can see a SIG Romeo from the front. You can see the emitter from the front. You cannot see an EOTech
or an ACOG, right?
It depends if it's got a illuminated reticle.
The with the iridium.
If you're that will be it's visible. ACOG not so much.
Yeah.
All right. Same thing. The primary arms, 1x micro prisms. You guys saw me do a video on it. If you turn off the illumination, obviously it's not visible from the front. It has a black etched reticle. You turn it on, you're illuminating this side of that reticle. But if they're at an angle, they will still see that emitter, right? So anyways, but all of those sights, all of them have parallax. So in other words, your pupil still has to be centered directly behind it in order for it to be dead on accurate at distance. Now you mentioned bringing a magnifier over. You are placing another lens between the lens of your eyeball and your optic. And that's why magnifiers, even though they don't have a reticle in them, that's why they have windage and elevation knobs. So what you want to do is you want to center it as much as possible. Use those shims and everything so that it is the same height as your red dot. But then so you zero the rifle without the magnifier on. I want that to sink in because everybody wants magnification. I got that. I understand. So zero it at 200 meters, right? That point blank zero, all right? Without the magnifier. Your shot group's going to be about this big around, which is still fine, guys. You understand that's still a headshot, all right? Center it on the bullseye. Once you're on the bullseye, all right, you're dead on. You're right there. X-ring is the middle of that 10-shot group, whatever. Bring the magnifier over and shoot 5 rounds. And what you're going to find is they might be, hopefully, right in the middle. But if they're a little bit left, a little bit right, if they're a little bit high, if they're a little bit low, doesn't matter. Now you use windage and elevation on the magnifier. You do not touch the optic anymore. And you move that shot group back center. What you just did was you're taking out the parallax of the lens of that magnifier. You still have got parallax of you moving this lens, the one inside your eyeball. All right, understand that is another lens in this. The part of that weapon system, all right, people hate that term, but that is your rifle, the optic, the ammo.
That's what it is.
It is a system, but there's one more piece of that system, and that is the monkey that is hooked onto the back of it. And that monkey has the most moving parts. All right. Very few of you can outshoot your gun. All right. I'm sincere when I say that. You know, I buy the brand new Daniel Defense Flex capacitor, 299, whatever, because it's the best thing on the planet. Okay, that's fine. But understand, if you don't know how to use it, I'm going to outshoot you with a used DPMS.
It really depends on what they're buying the rifle for, too, because it's a tool.
Yeah.
And every tool is used for a specific job, right? So are you doing it to take it to the range once in a while? Then those are great. You know what I mean? That's fine. But if you're doing it for like a tactical purpose or training or anything like that, you need different things. Like I just picked up a PWS. I picked up a primary weapon system AR recently. It's piston driven. It's one of the most fun things I've ever shot, you know, and I suppressed it.
I got an Adams Arms piston.
So good, man. You know,
don't got to clean this shit.
I know, right?
That's
well, then,
awesome.
And like my 308 option is I shoot a SCAR heavy, right? That's what I shoot. That's like, and I live in Texas, so that's literally my pig gun, my deer gun. I mean, I have to use it for everything. It's in 308. It's fine. Have you ever seen Texas deer? they're about the size of a small dog. I mean, they're not very big, right?
Big antlers, though. Some of these ranchers,
Some of
they give them that special diet to grow big antlers.
Oh, that's the ones you got to pay for.
Yeah,
Those
you
are like
gotta pay for-
$25,000 a
That's
shot,
crazy.
man.
But you look at these
Crazy.
deer and you're like, I have bigger deer in Kentucky. You want a big deer, dude? Come to Kentucky.
Dude, I feel freezers. That's what I want.
It's all grain fed. They eat soybean or corn
Okay.
all year long.
See, in Texas, we cheat, and it's legal to cheat. Like literally, you sit in a deer blind and wait for the dinner bell to go off, and then when the deer feeder goes off, they come out to eat the corn because you can bait them all year round, and they're just used to eating corn all off season. So when hunting season's there, it's like going to the grocery store, right? So I mean, we cheat 100%. Anywhere else in the country, what we do in Texas that they call hunting is definitely illegal. That's definitely not allowed everywhere else, but. This one, Rob had a great question. He wants to know the best way to zero his claymore.
You laugh, but they actually
they have sights.
They have a claymore mine has a sight on top of it. You laugh, but it's actually testable for your expert infantryman's badge. I don't know about the Marine Corps, but
we don't have badges.
You don't have. They don't
need
do
no
badges.
stinking badges. But no, it's funny. Yeah. It zeroes itself, man. It says this part towards the enemy, front towards the enemy, man. That's your zero. That's your BZO right there. It's a good one. It's a good question.
All right. I had somebody asking about the baboons.
Yeah,
like
you have a baboon impression?
Yeah.
What is this baboon impression?
Dude, they make the funniest faces when you shoot them. They're like, it's freaking hilarious. Some of the faces these baboons make, dude, it's just priceless. My first time shooting baboons was in Ethiopia, and we're getting ready to go do a demo range, right? And you got to get there before your trainees do.
No.
So the demo range is up at this big trash dump. It's like seagulls and everything. That's where everybody dumps their trash. Well, we go early, and we're like, we're going to be blowing stuff up there.
Yeah.
Well, every time you get there before them, we always train internally. So I'm the sniper on the team. I want to just stuff to shoot. While you're out there, what? You're just shooting at like cans and shit out in it's a big trash dump. What the motherfucking baboon?
That's a moving target right there, man. That's good training.
What's a sniper's job, by the way? Shoot enemy two-legged mammals. I don't know. So I
would say it's to clear the battlefield.
Paper is a two-dimensional graphic representation of a two-legged mammal, right? That's what snipers are shooting. So if you're out there shooting at cans and you want better targets, so you don't want to walk out there, put up a paper one, but there just happens to be a two-legged mammal. Why would you not shoot that? Why would you pass up an opportunity to train? So anyways, I
have a question for you on that though, Karl. How do you when you sight it on a baboon, which is much smaller than a human man?
Not really. Some of these son of a guns, you get a big alpha male.
Yeah.
You picture you squatting down doing the kimchi squat.
Sure.
That's how they sit. They just look at you and like, man, my ass itches so bad. That's what they're saying, right? But literally, that's what they do. But
is it like shooting
question from the peanut gallery?
Question from the peanut gallery.
Is it
Somebody just handed me.
Is it like shooting? But like, would you have to change your BZO to shoot these, right? Because
we're laser rangefinder. He's at 447. Put it on 4+1. Hold center mass. Double check the wind. The flag in the dump was just blowing straight at us, going from like 1 to 11.
You're on a 308.
Oh yeah, 308 M24. You guys would call it an M40.
M40, yeah. Well, I would say that you don't really need windage at 400 yards. Well, yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
I'm here to tell you, I'm
under 2.
I missed several of those baboons. Several. I was playing whack-a-mole for about 3 hours, and then the locals showed up and informed us that while we were going to do demo training there, they are a protected species in that country.
Whoops.
My bad. Whoops. All right. Somebody just threw down a $10 bill. Hold on. Let me get my marker out here. All right. Gotta mark that. Yeah, it's real. Yeah. It's a real one, right? You got to do that at the grocery store now.
It's true.
F YouTube, they are not getting of this $10 tonight. When is the TR1 B belt? Oh, TR1 belt coming out from ATS Tactical Gear. If you guys are interested in my gun belt, it is already out at ATS Tactical Gear. I don't know if they've updated the website yet, but what I will tell you, if you go to atstacticalgear.com, TR10 saves you 10%. Reason why, and there's a thousand ballistic nylon companies out there, guys. Reason why I support them is anytime A15 or 5th Special Forces Group or Task Force 160th needed anything, you go outside Gate 5. That's where ATS Tactical Gear is. They've got, I want to say, 60 sewing machines there running full time, and they have a couple of their best seamstress there up front. And if, like, I was standing there the other day talking to Jimmy Bonner, and this crew chief walked in from 160th, and we're like, hey, Sergeant, can we help you? And he's like, this one, it's not broken, but I really need it a little bit like this instead of this. And they had one of their top ladies stop what she was doing. She pushed everything aside. She took his thing. They sat him down, and she modified it on the spot.
That's cool.
On the spot.
That's
You think
cool.
they made a dime off of that? Seriously, they didn't make a dime off of that. Not a dime. Why did they do that? They did it because that's what Americans do to take care of the tip of the spear. And they're awesome. So anyway, so I support them. Again, if you want the TR1 belt, and I don't know why Jimmy hasn't updated the website yet, but you go to atstacticalgear.com, pull up their phone number, all right, and then dial and say, hey, I want to talk to Jimmy Bonner. Hey, Jimmy's not here right now. He went to lunch. You got to allow an hour and a half. It ain't going to take an hour. Jimmy likes his food. Jimmy, I'm joking. You know I love you. All right.
Getting his fat pills.
No, he does a lot of business meetings during lunch.
Oh.
But and some of them are with me, which is cool because he always buys. We take turns buying.
That's a win.
Yeah, that's a win. But talk to Jimmy and say, hey, I'm a tactical rifleman brought me here, and think, oh, Karl, blah 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 blah, and Jimmy will take good care of you. Funny part is, I was in there a while ago, and there was a whole unit. The whole unit didn't come in there, but a supply sergeant came in and bought tier 1 belts for tactical belts for their whole unit, which is kind of cool. So anyways, thank you, kind sir. I appreciate the dinero. My wife has already got that spent. Don't you, honey? Don't you? My wife's got a full-time job.
Yeah.
Spending my money.
Dude, my wife's got a full-time job giving me money.
Giving you money. I'm joking. You guys know I'm worthless without my wife. All right. Excellent question, guys. I had one more here. Okay, this one's for Mikey. Luke B. Karl, did you ever have experience getting real-time intel from a big balloon with a camera that's hovering over the AO? You saw them in Iraq, didn't you? You see them in Kuwait too?
Yeah, the big white silver little things.
Yeah, they're guys. They've been especially.
Some of them are weather balloons. Some of them are.
Yeah,
a lot of them are.
There is a company. We had them in Kuwait after Desert Storm. What part of the agreement for Kuwait to let the U.S. keep a brigade of tanks and gear in Kuwait, in Doha, Kuwait? Part of the agreement was that they would keep a company of Green Berets there year round. And so we basically started doing 3-month deployments there. It was called the Iris Gold rotation. You'd go about every 9 rotations because at the time we had 9 companies. Later on, each group went to 12 companies, but at the time we had 9. So about every 9 rotations, you'd go over for 3 months. And while you were over there, we'd again, you do training on the border and everything, but we never went into Iraq. We stayed in Kuwait, trained with the Kuwaitis, but up near Udari National Range, they had one of those balloons, and it was tethered off from their commando base, and they'd run like no joke, they'd run this thing up to like 10,000 feet. And not only did it have cameras, but they could also run radar on it. And what it allowed them to do from that distance, that far off the border, they could just beat the desert with radar. And there's no way a Humvee or a tank or anything could come from Iraq without the Kuwaitis knowing about it. There's lots of cameras like that. It's actually, I'm not saying they're cheap, but I'm saying as a nation state, it is a lot cheaper for you to put up a balloon than it is for you to put up a satellite.
Yeah.
So, it all depends on what your budget is.
It's perspective, man.
Yeah.
It's perspective.
I've gotten in, as far as, have I ever got intel from them? I've gotten intel from thermals on balloons. I've gotten intel from thermals on handheld drones. I've gotten intel from Ravens, which were the little fixed wing drones that the Marines were using, and Predators and Prowlers, and I never, what's the big one with the jet engine, the Global Hawk. I've never gotten anything from a Global Hawk. SR-71s, I've gotten intel from SR-71.
Seriously?
Yeah, because
that's dope.
They pulled them out of retirement for Desert Storm because all of our spy satellites were over Russia and China.
Still got
we
the
didn't have
record,
anything
man.
over Saddam Hussein.
Dude, they still got the record.
Yeah,
just insane, man.
But we're still using U2s to this day.
Yeah,
still using them.
Yeah,
still using them. Good stuff out there, guys.
There's an SR-72 being developed.
Yes, there is. As a matter of fact,
it sounds awesome.
Yeah,
because it's about as fast as the SR-71 is, but it can go higher,
and it's green.
It goes like stratosphere, right? It's basically a space shuttle. It's insane.
They're coming out with the new B-25, which is basically the replacement for the B-2 bomber. It's a stealth, but it is supersonic. That will be the last manned bomber that the U.S. will ever have, because the way AI is going and everything, there's really no reason to put a human up in the air anymore. And chicks prove that.
I am not a fan of AI.
Me neither.
Being in charge of bomb runs.
No, but it is what it is. I agree. But right now they're basically calling it a wingman. It is if you guys have seen the movie Stealth, and again, that's not real life, all right? It's about a aircraft carrier that had a couple swing wing stealth fighters on it that were awesome. Jessica Biel, with the one with the little ass. That
it's
one.
Little. It's teeny.
It's little. Yeah, she looks like a little boy. Anyways, yeah.
I mean, she's married to Justin Timberlake.
Anyways, she's in the movie. But she's one of the pilots of these things. But the story is they have a new plane that is AI, and it can do everything that they can do, but you're not risking an American life. If it gets shot down, no big deal. It gets hit by a bolt of lightning, and Elon Musk, it's his character, but it's obviously somebody different in the movie, basically says, I don't know what happened. The code rewrote itself, because lightning writes code, right? Anyways, it goes rogue and decides to start World War III. But that said, the concept of having a AI wingman that you then, hey, I would go do this, but I'd rather you go do it, right? Real life, you wouldn't do that, but that is exactly what the Air Force is doing right now. Why? Why would they do that? Because there's so many people like us that would say we don't want planes going out there that are able to make their own decisions. It needs to be a human that's doing it. So they're selling it as though this thing just goes along with a F-35 and follows the F-35 and does what the F-35 tells it to do as a wingman. But the reality is, guys, you understand, wink, wink. They're only doing that so they can continue to improve the technology. And that the thing, autonomous aircraft, autonomous tanks, that's the future, like it or not. There are autonomous restaurants in the US right now. There are.
That's true. That's true.
There are. And
like they had that AI that that wrote its own language to communicate with another AI. And like
nobody can
they had to shut it down because it literally wrote its own language and started talking to each other, and they were like, we don't know what it's talking about. And it definitely could be going, we need to get rid of the common lowest denominator, which would be the humans.
Guy, that mammal over there that stinks.
Yeah, the breaking point, the weak point in the chain is the operator, right? So but they wrote their own language. They're like, we have to shut it down because we don't know what it's saying.
That's so awesome.
It's terrifying, man. Like, did nobody watch Terminator? This is literally Terminator. This is how we get Skynet and everything dies, man. Like, what are we doing here? Insane.
And guys, before you say there's no, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. All right. If you look at the speed of computers, remember that first what was the old computer everybody had when they were
Commodore 64.
Commodore 64. All right, and then computers have exponentially taken off. You understand?
Dude, the last 10 years.
This has got 10 times the computer power of the space shuttle.
Yeah.
All the computers on space shuttle. 10 times.
We went to the moon with a microchip, man.
And a slide rule.
Yeah.
And a slide rule.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's okay. And don't get upset. Don't be acting like, well, we need to turn off all computers, or because you don't need to. Here's why. God will send the next plague and we'll get rid of 50% of the humans, or you humans will end up doing it to yourself. But the reality is, you guys want to pat yourself on the back and everything, but understand dinosaurs roamed the planet for 6 million years, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And the people that say, God didn't create dinosaurs. Yes, he did. Okay. Well, what day was it? You understand how long is a day?
All the creatures of the heavens and the earth.
Because a day for you is 24 hours. That's the time it takes your planet to revolve one time. A day for Jupiter is insanely longer. Okay. So how long is a day for God? I don't know. Me and him were good. He loves me. I do good work for him, but we're not that close.
You gotta think the universe goes around.
Yeah, he hasn't explained everything to me yet. So if the dinosaurs were here for 6 million years, 6 million years, you freaking two-legged mammals ain't even been here 35,000 years yet. You haven't been here. You're not going to make 100,000 years. You're not. Why? Because you're mammals. You guys are going to kill each other off.
Our brains are too big for our own good.
Yeah.
Yep.
The dolphins are going to be like, try to tell them. All they do is throw fish at me.
Dude, dolphins got to be the smartest things on the planet. Have you seen the orcas that are attacking fishing boats now?
No, really.
Like organized attacks in wedge formation and shit.
No shit.
It's amazing.
There were reports of orcas, bad storms where somebody would fall off the boat, a fisherman, and where orcas would help them back to the boat.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying once, it happened a bunch of times, and now you're saying they're attacking fishing boats.
They're attacking fishing boats because they're
filled with fish.
They're breaking into. It's the same thing. The reason they break. You ever watch them break ice sheets down in Antarctica?
Yeah.
To get the seals and stuff.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. But they'll also come to whale watching boats and ask for help. Like I've seen videos where like a
No
baby will
shit.
come and ask for help basically, and they follow it, and it's sure as hell its mom is like stuck on a buoy or something. They have to cut it loose. It's crazy, man.
No, that's cool.
Like these
That's
are
very
brilliant animals that
Yeah.
we just don't realize
Very,
are
very
smart because
cool.
they don't communicate with us.
Yeah.
You know, they use echolocation, which is so much farther advanced than our dumb monkey talk.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just
You know, in
crazy to me.
all the sci-fi movies, the aliens show up, and it takes us about 2 weeks, but we figure out with our computers how to talk to them, how to talk to the aliens. We can't even talk to a dolphin.
Yeah.
You can't talk to my dog. You understand? The dogs, all right? You understand because most of you guys have dogs. You guys know I love my dog. Your dogs understand, most of them, 20 English words. So stay. No. All right, come on. Jump. Come on. Up. Get up in the Jeep. They understand 20 English words. How many words do your dogs say that you understand?
I have a bulldog, man.
But
He's a
you guys will
fucking
pat
idiot.
yourself on the back all the time. Man, we're awesome. We are awesome. Really? How many computers have you invented?
Yeah.
Yep. That technology.
Yeah, what have you done?
Yeah. What have you done?
But yet you're still out there making copies that we don't need. The 7 billion people just in the way. Good God.
So if we really want to
I
make
was
the
so
world
pro
a better
COVID,
place,
dude. I was so pro COVID.
we need to get rid of like
2
we
billion.
need to get rid of like
At least 2 billion.
2 billion.
Yeah, I think we need
Emery
to
will tell you he wants to get rid of 80% of the people on the planet. I'm like 50, change it to 90 now. I'm 50. I'm 50% because that would give you guys another 100 years
Jesus
before
Thanos.
you ruin the planet. I call apple.
Hey, man.
All right, guys, if you're not going to have any more questions, let's see. I think I got one more just came in. We need Mikey to come back when you're in studio. All right.
When are you coming to my show, man? When are you coming
When's
on
your
the
show?
We record Wednesdays in San Antonio.
Wednesdays. All right,
Emery's been on my show.
Right.
Sue's been
really?
on my show. I've had some tactical rifleman people on the show.
Tactile Rifleman Ruski. That's a Wednesday. That is the 27th. I don't have to be with Leviathan until the 28th.
Okay.
27th?
I drive back. I leave here the 20. Was that this March?
Yeah, that's this one.
Yeah, I leave here the 24th. Should get home the 25th. So I'll be in
Okay.
town. Yeah, dude. Hit me up.
All right.
Put you on the show.
You guys are here. What's the name of your podcast
The
again?
Freedom Friends Podcast.
Freedom Friends Podcast.
Whiskey, cigar, and 4 veterans telling dick jokes. Mostly.
You're quickly talking me out of this now.
You already heard him.
Dick
He's
joke.
already in there. No, it's a good show. It's a good show. We
Good
have some good conversations. And, it's really social commentary, but it's a comedy show.
Comedy show. I'm
Yeah.
not a funny guy though. I just really, man.
That's what the
That's
what
what
that's
alcohol's
for, man. That's what that's for, man.
All right. I do get better looking the more I drink.
There you go.
I do. So,
There you go.
all right, everybody. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. Again, we have gone. Damn, man, an hour and a half. Y'all a bunch of nutbags. You realize you sat here and watched me do verbal diarrhea for an hour and a half. Seriously, you got Kyle Lamb and all these other cool people to hang out with. We're gonna go visit. We're gonna do some TAC Mag reloads, and we're gonna get ready and make sure we're plenty hydrated for training tomorrow. If you guys are within a couple hours drive of Palatka, Florida, I encourage you guys to come out and meet great Americans like Mikey, like Kyle Lamb, like Emery Morgenstern, international man of waffles. And what you'll find is
The falafels.
No, dude, waffles. His falafels are, but his waffles are orgasmic.
Of
They
gefilte
really are.
fish. He's
They're
the international man of gefilte fish.
All right, guys. So again, I want to thank y'all. I really want to thank our sponsor, Venture Surplus. Venture brings the Army surplus store to your door. You want the crap that Mikey used in the Marine Corps, which is actually good quality stuff, Polypro, Gore-Tex, all that stuff.
Stuff we got from you guys. We handed it.
No,
down to
but
us.
I seriously though, the Marines were rocking good stuff, and their camo patterns blended a lot better than the ACU crap that I was running. And I find a lot of marine stuff at Venture Surplus. They got free shipping and returns, venturesurplus.com. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that. Again, guys, if you want to check out our classes, tacticalrifleman.com. You can read bios on all of our instructors there, and it's going to be awesome.
Can I update?
Indeed.
Can I update Emery's?
Yeah, you can update Emery's. What are you going to change on Emery's?
I don't know. I'll come up with something.
Yeah.
Something gross.
Something gross.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
something
always that.
gross.
All right, gents.
He's got web toes.
He's got web.
He's got web toes.
He really does.
He's got
have
one
web
weird
toes,
ball. It's weird.
All right, guys. That's all I got. I want to give a shout out. Thank you to my moderators. You guys are all awesome. I'm going to get back over there. I'm Airborne Commander. I'm supposed to be visiting people, breaking bread and everything. I did this tonight with you guys because I love you and I appreciate your dedication coming back with us here. So I will see you guys next Tuesday. Whew. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to be on the road somewhere. So, but we're going to make it work. All right. Y'all take care and shoot straight.